And now for part two of Tardy for the Party.
Like, okay. So I'm contacting the bride. I'm like, what's going on? She's like, I'm still in hair and makeup and all of these things. I'm like, okay, girl, well, let's move it along because people are starting to come. She's like, yeah, I hear you, Desiree, but I gotta make sure my hair and makeup is right and blah, 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 blah. All right, so I leave her alone. I go find the groom saying, we're probably going to be a little tardy for the rehearsal, but I'm okay with that. He said, don't worry about it. And then I proceeded to ask him, where are all of the wedding day inventory items? Because where we were having the rehearsal was not the location for the ceremony and reception. This is the location in which they were going to have the rehearsal dinner. He said, oh, my bad. I was supposed to bring those tonight. Yes, sir. You were supposed to bring them tonight because I need them. I need the inventory. He's like, well, can you get them tomorrow? Now, mind you, this was a ceremony and reception that was going to take place on a Sunday. That Saturday, the DE team had a wedding, and this was rehearsal. This rehearsal day was on a Friday. We also had another rehearsal going on, okay? We're doing multiple weddings this weekend. And I said, that is going to be challenging because I didn't, want to be forthcoming and just say, hey, I got a whole nother wedding tomorrow, but I did. All right. You said you were going to bring these things today. Why are they not here? I mean, not a single item was on location, on site. I said, well, when can I pick up these items tomorrow? I says, ideally, I would love to get them in the morning because I do have some things that I have to do later on that afternoon. So is it possible, since nothing is here, that I can grab these items tomorrow morning? He's like, oh yeah, we'll have everything worked out for you. Give me a call, blah, blah, blah. All right. We are now at the start time of the rehearsal. Still, no bride, no bridesmaids, no family to be seen. I'm like, well, what the heck is going on? I call her again. I'm like, hey, when are you all coming down? Because we have rehearsal and we only have this space for so long before you have this segue into dinner. And, there's a lot of components that need to be dealt with. She's like, Desiree, you just got to wait a minute because I am still in hair and makeup and blah, blah, blah. Pause. What kind of hair and makeup are you getting done for this rehearsal? Girl, if you don't bring your tail down here, we got a rehearsal time that needs to take place right now because this rehearsal is going to last longer than the normal 45 minutes. And you talking about hair and makeup. Stop playing with me. She then proceeds. I think she could tell that I was getting a little irritated. She was like, well, you could just go ahead and start without me. How is that possible? How is that possible? For one, your parents aren't down here. For two, your bridesmaids aren't down here. And for three, where are the uncles who are going to be handling your ritual components, a part of the ceremony? I was like, okay, how much longer do you think it's going to take? She was like, we should be done in about 15 or 20 minutes. I feel some kind of way about that because I don't understand why people feel. Yeah, I'm gonna do a little side note here. I do not understand why people feel I'm going to give you this specific time, but then I'm going to start later. As if the people that are present didn't possibly take off work or speed through traffic or do whatever they had to do to get here on time. And you are moving very slowly as if time does not matter. And we got all day because we need to wait on you. And you are being very rude to those that were on time, telling me it's going to take you another 15 to 20 minutes for your glam squad to finish you up. Girl, okay. Whew. Let me woosah. Let me come back on into the screen. Eventually, she comes down for rehearsal. And we have rehearsal. I am listening to the uncles intently. But understand this, the uncles weren't necessarily the nicest men, I will say, to me. They told me pretty much is that I could handle the door and let people know when to come in, but they handled the ceremony and they didn't need my help. Just make sure that I have these particular items set the way they are supposed to be set, that the chairs look the way they are supposed to look, and I pretty much can fall back. I'm like, okay. So after the rehearsal, I pulled the bride and the groom to the side. I says, you do understand that you all hired me to manage this day. You hired the team to manage this day, but I was instructed by the uncles not to do certain things. And I just want you to understand that this isn't something that I said yes to. but this is what was told to me. So I want to make sure you're comfortable with this. And they were like, yeah, we understand. The groom was like, I'm just falling in the line. This is more so for the bride. I'm good with it. The bride was like, yes, my uncles do this all of the time. So yeah, just follow along with their beat. Sounds good. I reiterated with the groom, I'm going to pick up these particular items. The wedding day inventory tomorrow morning would be ideal. I'm going to pick them up tomorrow morning. So let's make sure we get in touch with each other so that I can grab those items from you, because I do have some other things to do later on that afternoon. I also expressed to everyone before we all walked out of the space for the rehearsal is that we need to start on time, specifically because this ceremony was going to take longer than the normal time frame for a ceremony. And we needed to get started because there's a catering aspect that we have to deal with, as well as the amount of time that we have for the venue. Okay, so let's make sure everything and everyone is on time. I pull the uncles to the side, the ones who aren't really nice to me. I said, hey guys, I need you here at a specific time. They were like, we'll be there and blah, 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 kind of, standoffish with me. But again, I remain nice. Again, I don't want any smoke. I don't want no problem. I don't want no drama on Sunday. I just need y'all to be here so that we could get everything set up specific and properly as instructed by you. Everybody leaves the rehearsal. All is well with the world. So now we come to the day before the wedding. Remember that wedding inventory item that I was supposed to grab? I called the groom. I sure did. I called the groom. Why he didn't answer? Y'all probably figured that was going to happen, right? He didn't answer. So I called the bride. I'm like, hey, where's the wedding inventory items? And she's like, oh, they're at my mother's house. Okay, so how can I get in touch with your mother so that I can go over there and get the item? She's like, well, my mom is not around right now, so you'll have to wait. Girl, wait. Did you just say I have to wait? I said I had a conversation with your groom. I expressed to him the importance of me grabbing everything this morning so that I can move along on my day. And she was like, well, there's no one there right now, so you're going to have to wait. My brothers will be back later. I could start a text thread with them and you can have a conversation with them, but I really don't have time to deal with it right now. Oh, you don't have time to deal with your wedding inventory items that are going to be needed for tomorrow. Oh, okay. You don't have time to deal with that. The thing about it for me is that it was like her attitude had changed. I don't know if she had become an entitled bride, a bride that felt that the world revolved around her in this moment. But girlfriend, please understand, I have a job to do. And I need your wedding inventory items because, for one, your uncles are going to be looking for a lot of these things when I set up the ceremony. And for two, I want to see those table numbers. I need to see what we're working with. Yes, we have seen a proof. We've seen mock-ups and all of these things, but I want them in my hand. I want to see these things. She let me know that she wasn't going to worry about it. She was going to put that on her brothers and for me to get it whenever I could. So all afternoon, yeah, even while I'm at another wedding, I am texting, I am trying to call when I can for someone to answer me and let me know when we can get all of this wedding crap. Yeah, I'm calling it crap now because I'm getting irritated. Finally, y'all listen to me, at 9 p.m., I said it, at 9 p.m. is when somebody replied back to me. It was the groom. So he says, well, you can come grab them now. All right. I asked him for the address. Nothing. Nobody is saying anything to me. Where the hell are we supposed to go? So I said, okay, you know what? I'm tired of playing because I need my coordinator to be able to go over there and get this crap. So I called the groom. I says, hey, what is going on? I know that you all are having your welcome party and you're greeting family and friends, but we need these items so that we could set up tomorrow. I don't understand why nobody is understanding this. I do not understand why you don't get it. He sounds a little bit agitated, says, well, hey, you were supposed to get these things earlier. Pause. I called you. You didn't answer. I text you. You didn't answer. I called the bride. She got a little attitude with me, told me mama wasn't at home and that I needed to deal with her brothers and put me on a text thread with the brothers. I'm now texting and calling the brothers. Nobody reaches out to me or calls me back. You are the first person in the last, I don't know at this point, 8 hours that I've had a conversation with, and you're telling me I was supposed to get these things earlier. Okay, I wanted to cuss him out, but I said, you know what? They're at their welcome party with their family and friends, so you're going to be nice. I said, sir, I was unable to get in touch with anyone earlier. So now that I have you on the phone, could you let me know how I can get these items so that we can have everything set up for you properly on wedding day? Could you let me know? He says, well, everybody's at the welcome party, and so you're going to have to wait till we leave. I'm a woosah right there. I'm a woosah. When someone finally got back to us, do y'all know it was 11 o'clock at night? And my coordinator had to go to the north side of Chicago. From her home. From the north side of Chicago to grab all of this stuff. And when I tell y'all, the items that they gave my coordinator, most of the things were not on the inventory list. And please understand this, y'all. Y'all know I am very specific about how I run this business. I have an inventory list that I go over with my couples during a meeting, and you let me know what you're going to have or what you are not going to have so that we are prepared to know what to do on wedding day. So when you give us a truckload of wedding items that are not labeled, we don't know what the heck goes where, we got to try to figure this out, it becomes a problem and it slows down the day. My coordinator calls me when she gets to the mom's house and she informs me, Desiree, I can't even get all this stuff in my car. I said, what are you talking about? Based on the list, there should only be blah, 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 blah. She says, no, there is so much more. Remember, I told you all that the bride had specific chairs that she wanted. She had specific chairs that she wanted, but she decided not to pay for the delivery to the venue. She had them delivered to her mother's home because we were going to be responsible for taking them. Pause. No, we are not. I do not have a U-Haul truck in my backyard, so we're not going to be able to bring those chairs there. I told my coordinator, pack the stuff up in your vehicle that you can. Let the brother or whoever know, whoever let you into your home, let them know that we can't fit these items in there, and they're going to have to get them over to the venue tomorrow and be there by 10 o'clock. I'm not playing with this mess. I'm not playing with this couple no longer because I've asked for things. You've kind of now started copping an attitude with me when I'm trying to make this happen as smoothly as possible. You're being very challenging, very difficult, and now you're adding things on here that we are not aware of. Okay, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I don't have the patience for it. I told her, pack up your vehicle, go ahead and leave. I'll see you tomorrow over at the venue. So now let's come to the wedding day. Oh gosh, it was such a beautiful day. Yes, it was. It was sunny out. The birds were chirping. It was a beautiful day to be in downtown Chicago. Yes, it was. Y'all listen, this wedding day was probably one of the most challenging wedding days I had ever had. And I know I've said that before, but as I am reflecting on this story now, it was a mess. It was an absolute mess, and it started almost immediately upon our arrival.
And just wait till you learn what happened next.